Assalamu alaikum. Right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. So today our mantra is love your existence so you can love your creator, right? Or you can love God. Without loving your existence, you cannot love God. By ignoring our existence, I am looking at. So by ignoring our existence, we cannot really relate ourselves to the one who gave us the existence. So not only your body, not only yourself, your whole human qualities, everything, the existence of everything you think, your dream, your imagination, whatever. So your hopes, your fears, worries, whatever. Love the existence of those qualities so that you can relate to their creator. Otherwise, loving God means what? To me, nothing. What? If it is not coming from the existence base, I love God, I obey Him. To me, just imagination. Imagining something. Of course, we have the inclination. We are, if you like, hardwired to connect to something. So using this hardwired inclination and not really making sense of its existence is not the solution. So people feel that we have to love. Yeah, we have a sense of love. That's correct. We have. No one says no. So, but what am I going to do? It's very simple, very simplistic, very superficial, and not substantial, not convincing. This way, you have a sense of love. Okay, I do have a sense of love. Okay, if you love the temporary things, they pass. It's not worth it. What shall I do then? So I have to use my sense of love for God. He is permanent. We say, okay. They say God is permanent. Come. Join us here and sit there. Sit next to this lady. She's beautiful. Why are you running away from it? Push. Even more, further. Okay. Ready? Okay. If you like, we have to be real in our being. We shouldn't have an alternative. For example, this world is transient. This life is transient. Everybody knows it. Although we don't want to see it in practical life, we don't want to really bear in mind that I have to look for eternity in this life. This life itself is transient. What shall I do now? we say, okay, this is transit. It is not worth it. Paying any serious attention to it. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. So, what shall I do? They say, well, we hear people, okay, love God. It is worth it. Does it make sense? Apparently it does. Love God. It is worth it. But if you say, who's God? The creator of the universe. Okay, it is again easy to say that God is the creator of the universe. That makes sense because everybody looks for the source of existence of anything, the cause of existence of anything. Be careful with the word existence of anything. So if something exists, human nature automatically asks this question: what is the source of existence of this? How come it exists? There must be a source. He is God, who is the creator of the universe. Push him away, out of your life, out of your world, and I love God. But for example, very simple, everybody knows it. If you really think about it, don't take it for granted and think about it, you have a sense of love. It exists, right? How come it exists? Don't be, I say, wholesale trader. God created all of them. Be specific. Be specific. This sense of love, it exists, and I have to refer to the one who gave existence to this sense. We have to see the creator as the creator of the universe, God as the creator of the universe, but in my specific case is the creator of the sense I have, which is called the sense of love, or whatever, fear. Equally true. We fear. I'm afraid of many things, right? Not only wife, something else as well. So many things, maybe bankruptcy or getting ill or being in need, falling into the position of neediness, not really being able to sustain my own worldly life as far as I am concerned. Of course, not the creatorship. Of course, well, for example, if I cannot walk for life, I'm afraid of it. Then if the people will pull me in my wheelchair. I don't like it. I don't want it. This fear. Can I deny it? No, it is with me. It's what I am. It's my reality. Question the source of existence of this feeling. And then see that if you like, find the creator, not as the creator of the universe, the creator of your sense of fear in yourself, which means not the essence of God is in you. That's obvious. Don't confuse the language. We have to see the presence of the creator of this sense, presence of the creator of this sense in my feeling, in my being, whatever related to me. Whatever, for example, don't you see that it is so ridiculous to have a skull, and there is a hole here? I sometimes think about it and laugh. There's a hole here, and in this hole, there are two objects, like this. And they see. Makes sense. Have an effect. they are the means of communicating with the rest of my world. Yeah, and also they have all sensitivity where you can focus them. Why am I'm looking at, for example, Hamza, I can see your silhouette, but that's my focus. So perfect. If there is a light moving there, a darkness, an object moves there, it detects just a small hole, very small hole, and I am aware of it. What do you think? How come that you are aware of the objects around you? What do you think? What's going on? It's physical, it's biological thing. You know, the eye. Well, the muscles organize it without you using your free will, moves this way. Just you feel it, it goes. You want it not only consciously, you know, as a reflection. It moves this way, that way, looks and copies and communicates. I feel that my creator, whoever put this I here, is present there for me. Not the essence of God, but as a creator. I can find the creatorship. Do you understand the word? Creatorship. In Arabic word, those people, khalaqiyya. Not khaliq only. Khalaqiyya, the noun. Khaliq is adjective. The nouns are very powerful. We know that nouns are universal. Khalaqiyya is everywhere. Khaliq only when I see something coming into existence. What is the khaliq of this? What is the khaliq of that? You see? So many people came, somebody didn't move, but one person came, he prepared the room. There is something going on there. Prepared, and eyes were there, coming, getting ready. That's human being. We have to question, where do we get all these qualities? Okay, I think human beings are amazing creatures. Amazing creatures. We can see really in our own existence the presence of the owner, my owner there, always, if you like, urging me to acknowledge it, to become aware of it, to be aware of it, always. Don't send God outside of the universe and say that I love God. I love God. God means, yeah, it means outside of the universe, who created the universe. I love God, the one who created my eyes, the one who created my concerns, the one who created my feelings, the one who created my thought of him. They are all existent beings. Related to yourself, then you can never own anything that you do, you don't do, whatever, related to yourself. Everything, your whole being becomes a belonging, a property of your creator, through which he discloses himself to me, to you. So find God in your own existence. That was the Wednesday's mantra. somehow related to it. Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, this is something I want you to maybe explain a little bit more, because whenever you talk about looking at the existence in this fashion and concluding that God exists, you say that it's like an a priori proof of God's existence, but I don't understand what that means, because
Okay.
can you explain what a priori means? Because my understanding is a priori means that you don't have to think about it to conclude that this is a fact.
Then we need a good dictionary to define a priori. A priori cannot happen if you don't think about it. It means you have to use your human qualities and come to a, if you like, natural conclusion, not acquired conclusion. Then a posteriori, it is right. Yeah. It means after experiencing it. This is not after experiencing it. It is with you. It is what you are. For example, I noticed this lady here as her husband was coming. Yeah. She prepared the ground, the place for him. It is in her.
Well, she will get in trouble.
We know. Speak on your behalf. No, speak your experience. Don't reflect it on others. Not everybody is the same. So, necessary. For example, looking for the cause of existence of anything is innate in us. And you ask, some people deny, but very rare people, I don't know, out of 100,000, 1 out of 100,000, say that no, because we are learned it. But even when you are 2 years old, 3 years old, you start questioning the source of existence of everything. You notice the children. Why? You say, God created. Where is God? I want to see him. Yeah. Who taught them? Who taught? Did you teach them? No. I'm going to tell you God, and you will ask me, where is he? No. It is innate with us. We are hardwired. Whoever made us, I think we have to go to the fundamentals. There is no need to talk about information, whatever, the meaning of the words, whatever. We have to go to the foundations. Whoever made me with the capacity to know the maker. I have to use it. There are 2 ways of not using it. One, being obstinate. I'm not going to accept any way which will take me to my creator or to a creator and a being who gave existence to me. So I will deny it. So what shall I do now? Which excuse I should produce in order to justify my stand? That is just prejudice. That's obstinacy. Leave it there. How about other prejudice? It's very dangerous. It is more related to us. There is God, I believe, because without God, this word, it's difficult to explain. So whatever the question comes to my mind, refer it to God. God knows best. God creates. That is another prejudice. Refer it to God, and you are free from really taking up the responsibility on your own shoulders and saying that, how can I make sense of it? Yeah, it's with running away from responsibility. So it seems to be that you are believing in God and you are a person who submits to God. It is laziness. It is not submission at all. It is hypocrisy. It's not real. It's not human. So a priori means as you are hardwired, whoever made you gave you the ability to know, to acknowledge him within your own being. No one can have anything which is not in the creation. We cannot create anything. We cannot give any quality to ourselves. I think you have further questions. Sorry?
You have to experience it to conclude it.
You have to explain?
You have to experience it,
Experience it, yeah.
right? Because if you don't, then you fall into the trap that you just said, and that I'm just going to dismiss everything and say, oh, God is the one who is
Correct.
the creator or the source of this. So you have to experience it.
But experience what? That's a good point. I like that. I will think about it, deliberate on it. Experiencing what? Not going to the lab. Go to your own lab of existence in yourself. Use it. But sometimes, as a result of obstinacy, that I'm going to be against religion, sometimes, as a result of laziness, another kind of obstinacy, I'm not going to use myself and refer it to religious sources. Either in the name of Islam or Christianity or Buddhism, the holy text says this, and I believe in it. Refer it to others, but use it within your own self. For example, if you don't really think about something and experience it, how are you expected to question the cause of existence of that feeling? You have to experience it. It is with you. But be conscious of it. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. Experience means be aware of your own consciousness, that it is with you. You don't acquire the consciousness. It is in your being. Just use it. Don't be lazy. Especially this laziness comes out of religiosity. And really, this religiosity is so dangerous because it makes you lazy and makes you makes your belief or your religion mostly hypothetical. I accept that the universe is a creator. So, for example, this thing also must be created by him. And that's it. Refer to him and you are done. Not necessarily that you will, I'm using Hobbes' word, experiencing the existence of that thing in yourself, within yourself, with yourself, whatever the language, the appropriate language is, with yourself, experiencing that, the existence of that thing, and looking for the cause of existence of that thing, and finding the giver of existence in its existence. Again, here, there. If you like, there is a very famous narration, that most of the time I hear this narration. For certain type of people, it applies, but not for you. None of you guys can use this narration at all. A slave girl said she's a believer. She believes in God. And the owner of the girl wanted to emancipate her, free her, but wanted to make sure that she really believes in God. But she was very illiterate. She couldn't know how to express even what it, but she was convinced that really God exists and she must accept it and she believes in it. The condition of the owner, in that period of time, there used to be slavery everywhere. It doesn't matter, but wrong, right, we are not talking about it. But as the people became more and more conscious of God and realized their status in the world, they were ashamed of keeping slaves. Do you understand the revolution? That the belief in God really replaces the social norms. So they were looking for every excuse. Yeah, the Prophet was also encouraging people to get married with your slave. Look at this in this Bedouin tribal life, in desert life, and every norm, every custom is so powerful than even your religion, my religion. And going against it, getting married with your slave? This is impossible. But the Prophet said, best of you who frees his slave and gets married with him or her. Wow. Of course, they took the advice from the Prophet. And since she was Muslim, she said, I'm a Muslim now. I accept the teachings of the Prophet. I believe in God. And she couldn't express herself at all. And the man didn't know really exactly what her position was. Took the lady, the slave girl, to the Prophet. And the Prophet asked her, do you believe in God? She just said, maybe even not. Yes. So illiterate, ignorant, but ignorant means not educated here. And where is God? She couldn't express it. Can you imagine the level of uneducatedness? She did this. Yeah. Believe me, I read books saying that to say God is in the heaven is permissible because Prophet accepted it. For whom? For you. Are you a slave girl who has never seen any alphabet even? How can you compare yourself with that, the position of this lady? So then it means beyond this created world. Okay, this is fine for her. She is saved, definitely. And the Prophet said, yes. Do you remember this hadith? Yeah. Have you heard? Yeah. Prophet said, she's a believer, free her. But we take this position for ourselves as, I don't know, graduate students in the best school of New York. Yeah, as a lawyer, everything you question, every word you really how do you say, question it, but what does it really mean, etc. Question. When it comes to God, you will be a slave girl. Where is God? And you are saved. I'm not saying it is bad, it is wrong, but we shouldn't be in describing ourselves or seeing our responsibility as simplistic as it is presented in this hadith. Saying that there is a hadith to say that God is in the heavens is correct. It is ridiculous. So we have to see God really according to our capacity, everybody.
Why then is it like, I agree with everything you said. I'm just sort of like confused as, you would think that religious interpreters or scholars.
Some, not all of them, not some.
I mean, some of them, right? But I know what you mean, right? Because I've also seen folks like say that, like, oh, God is in the sky, and that's cool to say. But like, why then is it presented like that to the masses?
Oh, go and ask them. I don't. No, it is because it is easy to never forget this. Never forget this. If you are focusing, this is a common disease and also present day disease too. If you want to rule the mass and become a leader of the mass, under the name of kingdom, kingship, emperor, or community leader, or imam, or sheikh, or the father in Christian tradition. It's very easy to make them accept everything as they are, so it is easy to rule them and make them obey you. Now, and titles are not important. Any ruling position, leadership. So if you say God is in heaven, you are okay, you are my subject, now obey me. Follow me. You can be proud of our religious state, Islamic state of X. Yeah. Don't you know that this trick is everywhere and in the history from the very beginning to up to now? Yeah, mashallah, you are very good. Mashallah. Pay your due membership. Okay? Mashallah. So when you pay money, you become more religious, a devout man. And also when you come and take care of the needs of the church or the mosque, this is a very self-sacrificing brother and sister, mashallah. It's very easy. Never ask them, never question them. Why do you do that? Have you ever thought of this? It means she has to, or he has to go home and question, causing problem in the community and the administration. Yeah. Why do you think the media does? Makes everything think on the same line as the state policy. Let's say indoctrinate, brainwash people. The same thing happened there. Unfortunately, it's easy to rule the community if you are a community-centered man and if you have a sense of leadership. In any case, that's very dangerous. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be initiators or entrepreneur or any subject. No, but we have to be aware that within the sense of leadership, there is an, if you like, evil lying there, waiting to trap yourself. So cheat people with the easy way out. Make them obey you and acknowledge your authority. It has always been like this in every community. We have to take care of ourselves. I'm not accusing certain people by giving names. It's our principle not to give names anyway. But we have to be aware of it. We have to, especially when you are reading the hadith. Look, okay. This is an anecdote, not really our subject. Those people who somehow are interested in learning something about religion or religious sources, we have to be very careful. Hey, just wait here. Listen to this. Well, the most important subject, you may not, you just wait for it, because this is very careful, looks like contradictory. Looks like contradictory. But we have to be extremely careful. When you are reading the Quran, your aim must be to universalize the message. Universalize the message. Right? You cannot read the Quran. You know, something happened during the fight or struggle of Badr or something, and then Allah says this related to this event, and you can take some lesson from it. No, universalize it. there is a battle of Badr, or there is a battle of Uhud in me now, in my society, in me. What shall I do under the guidance of this verse? Universalize it. Never bury the message into its historical context. Never bury the message into the occasions of the revelation. But with one exception, if you are going to make a rule out of it related to your rituals, you can start from there. But if you are not the technical word mujtahid, it means the jurist, authorized jurist, then you shouldn't at all. Always, the books are full of the information, occasions of, as Asbab al-Nuzul, they say, occasions of revelation. To me, if you are not a jurist, ignore them, universalize it. Just the contrary. It is very important. When you read a hadith narration, you have to see it within its own context. And then come from there. Why? And they come from there. Why? Because Prophet, as a human being, had two missions. But this subject is, well, I don't know, I wasn't intended to talk about this subject. It may be very new for us, very sensitive. The Prophet was, and we say, let me go this way. I testify that there is no deity in this world but God. Yep, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Okay. Wa ashhadu, and I also witnessed that Muhammad was an abd. It means a worshipper of God is practicing his own belief in his personal life, and Rasuluh, and his messenger. So the Prophet has two sides, which is in Arabic, Ubudiyya side, as a worshipper, practicer like you and me. You have to believe in God. He has to also make sense of belief in God. You have to believe in angels. He has to make sense of belief in angels as well. He has to struggle as a worshiper of God. If you don't know God, how can you worship? You cannot really be privileged person from birth that I have to struggle to understand the belief in the hereafter. But the Prophet said, okay, God tells him, I finish. He's sure of it. Impossible. He was a man. He was a person. He was a created man, one side. The other side is a messenger from وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا عَبْدُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Go back to the beginning. It means he was a worshipper of him and also his messenger. Whose messenger? Go back to the first phrase. La ilaha illallah. Allah's messenger, that I confirmed. So you have to relate the position of the Prophet to not only his being a worshipper, but also being a messenger of the one who is absolute, eternal. So his message has one. He's a man, human being, experiencing the people around him. A person came to him and related an event to him, and he said, okay, I understand. Why don't you try this and do that, etc. He is an abd, but he is a person like you and me, exercising his belief according to his understanding of the person's position and his capacity, his needs, then gives guidance. But at the same time, behind this guidance, he is the messenger of the absolute being. So we have to go through his ubudiyya, worship side, and then universalize it. Now, as we did today, as far as this hadith narration we mentioned today, so what we saw, the lady, the person, the slave, was an illiterate person. He couldn't express herself. Even she believed in God, but she couldn't say that I believe in God and express herself. She just pointed to the heaven. That's it. So we have to see the ubudiyya according to her capacity, specific capacity, specific case. The Prophet judged or came to the conclusion that she is a believer. Right? That is a message in the prophetic practice. We read the hadith. We say this is Abdullah, Abduhu, his worship, his conditions, his historical conditions, historical context. And also I had to say, okay, within this context, it works this way. What is the side which looks at the messenger of God? It means absolute message, unlimited message, without time restrictions, conditions restrictions. So my simple conclusion is treat people according to their capacity, right? That is how I found that God is guiding me there. Not necessarily imitate the historical context, but in the Quran, no, directly universal, universalize the message. In the Hadith, you have to see it. I actually separate Hadith narration from Sunnah. Hadith narration is the narration of the event by a person who observed what Muhammad did, alayhi salatu wasalam. Yeah, this Hadith narration. I have to take in mind that the one who did it was a worshipper of God. It's like a human being, like you and me. And also the person observed the event, of course, filtered the event according to his observation, according to his own interest, according to his own capacity, according to the conditions of that particular society. So we cannot really say that it is absolutely universal all the time. No, we have to see the limitations. And also one narration, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and then I read. Can you imagine a history event is, let's play this. There's a game. I whisper something to him. Telephone. I say a sentence to you and goes. At the end it comes, for example, just opposite what I said. It's quite normal. Yeah, but it is not that free. You know, they were honest people. They were trying to protect the heresy of the Prophet as much as they are. We trust them, but we have to bear in mind that they were honest, but human beings. Excellent. But human beings. Human beings are fallible. All right? So just a minute. Let me complete this picture. That is Hadith. Read the Hadith, see the Sunnah. Sunnah means universal. Hadith means historical. You have to make sense of the meaning of this narration within the context of the universal teachings of the Quran. If you have not studied the Quran, if you have not really mastered the message of the universal message of the Quran, never read the Hadith. You cannot make any sense of it, just become an imitator. And even I can say a stupid imitator, not a human imitator. That you understand, well, sometimes I say, if you are not ready, don't read hadith. Because it is more difficult to deal with the hadith than dealing with the Quranic message. Because the Quranic message has only one perspective, universality of the message. God is speaking. Who is God? Your creator right now. He is speaking to you now. You cannot historicize the revelation or the absolute speech of the creator. But when it comes to hadith, you have to take notice of the conditions of or customs of that society, capacity of that society. You have to see it within its historical context. And then see the universal message behind it. Universal message is the prophetic message. Prophetic message, not ubudiyya of the message, prophetic message. Prophetic message means the messenger of God is teaching humanity something. So in the hadith, the historical side is speaking to this person, showing that this person pointing to the heaven as a sign of belief in God is accepted. That's what I learned from the hadith. How about sunnah? Sunnah is universal. Treat people according to their capacity and have a positive attitude towards them. Never try to look for an excuse to exclude anybody from the community, included. And also, if the subject is sensitive, be sensitive as well to eradicate this wrong practice of the custom of the society, which is slavery. So if you see that the people are really indoctrinated in the society to become brainwashed, all of us become consumers. Consume that you buy, consume that you will be happy. So if anybody asks you, shall I buy this one? What you are expected to say? Because this is the common disease. Is it? Consumerism of the age. You say, can you make it without one? Do you have to buy? Just invite him to think, to reflect once more. Because they are indulged in buying for nothing. And seeing the happiness in buying. So that is sunnah. Where did he get the sunnah from? From this hadith. This universal message. I think it is clear. So hadith readings, sunnah means practice of the messenger of God, not imitating the certain event. Right? Okay.
What you said is very interesting, but I'm thinking of some verses in the Quran that if you read them out of context, they would look horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't universalize them without the context. It would be actually against my belief. So we will need the context then.
It can't be against your belief. It means you don't believe. Not because you are an unbeliever. No. It means, how can you really say that I am a believer and at the same time say that it is the Quran is against my belief?
The verse, I would mean the verse.
Okay, it is still, every verse is a part of the eternal speech, absolute speech.
Like Salah?
No, not like that. That
No.
is, no.
Like there's
Okay,
verse.
no.
You don't want
not
an example. Okay.
Okay, doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't make sense to you first. According to your capacity now in understanding the Quran, because when you read a verse from the Quran in a specific, mentioning a specific case, you take many things for granted in understanding this verse. What are they? For example, so it is about, I don't know, the Quran says, it is about the Hudaybiyah Act, right? For example, or Hudaybiyah treaty, right? And then starting that. Okay, I can give you an example. I'm very happy with this example. It makes sense. Don't take Christians and Jews as your protectors, friends, whatever the name you use. Okay. That's a verse. No. لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء. That's obvious. No way to. So we say Christian, Jew, and put my understanding of Christian into the word and read the verse accordingly. That's the danger. My understanding of Jew, Jew means that most of the Jews are living in Israel. Those people, those people who have this Solomon's star on their necklace, they are Jews. That is not what the Quran means. Quran's description of Judaism and Christianity, where the deviation comes from. Very simplistic explanation. First layer of explanation is, first layer, we have to go deeper. But we will find ourselves as Jews and Christians. So whoever attaches importance to his lineage and feels privileged in the eye of God, that is Judaism. Whoever attaches any divine quality to anything, it has some sort of divinity. For example, kings are important, scholars are important, the prophets are special beings. It means I am giving attaching a kind of privileged status, capacity to certain beings, whether they are stars or, I don't know, an insect there, doesn't matter. If you say this insect does this, you are a Christian. Yeah? Yeah? Why? You attach the action to the created being there without realizing that through creating this insect, the creator is demonstrating something to you. Did you take notice of it, or attribute the quality to the insect itself? What is Christianity? Attributing the miracles to Jesus himself. So don't take friends anybody who sees that I am in Mexico, or different, we are different. I'm not, you see, I haven't used the example of, so be comfortable. Don't feel attacked again and again. So, excuse me. So, don't take me as your friend when I claim that I am from a higher caste, coming from Pakistan or India. I am from a higher caste. I cannot get married with this black lady. Yeah, dark skinned. Right, because they are not really developed. I'm privileged from birth. I'm a Christian. Don't take me as your friend. In that respect. So all these troubling problems come from the approach to the Quran. We, if you like, install our own understandings of the concept to the words there, because one of the main disease, be careful here. Watch out, it's very dangerous. One of the main disease of the age It has been always, and nowadays it is even more in America, trying to understand the Quran and narrating the message of the Quran according to the lexicon meaning of the word of the Quran. It is extremely misleading and dangerous. And unfortunately, very serious people are falling into this mistake.
Words are there for a reason. They don't all have to be symbols.
Not a symbol, but I said lexicon meaning of the words. And saying that, for example, Nasara. Yeah, those people who were from Nazareth, Jesus, following the prophet Jesus from Nazareth, called Nasara. So that is what the dictionary says. That's what the dictionary says. We have to understand, and then, of course, when you follow the meaning of the words from the dictionaries define the word as they are understood and practiced by the people in the history of time. I mean, in the human history. Let's say the 1st century it was understood in this way, and the 5th century changed the meaning. You can see the historical dictionaries of the language, and you say that, oh, I know the word now. But the Quran uses the word within its own context. First, you have to define the Quran. You have to make sure the purposes of the Quran for yourself first. Who is speaking? For what purpose the speech is taking place? And try to understand the meaning of the words according to the purposes of the Quran, not according to your encyclopedic knowledge. Then you have a problem. But it is difficult. It needs training. It needs education. I understand. But it is difficult. It becomes difficult to follow some verses of the Quran. Looks like very historical context. You cannot really get out of it because you always hear some certain books emphasizing that, Sabians are those people, Zoroastrians, live within such and such century, in such and such parts, geography of the world, and they believe in something, whatever, they were worshippers of fire, whatever, they wake up. There are lots of interpretations. Okay. When I become a Sabian, because God tells me that don't follow Sabians, it means it is with me. It is with me. Where is my side of being Sabians? Oh, I don't know. But how the Sabians are studied in the Quran, for what purpose the Sabians example are given there, right? So there are many verses like this. If you free yourself from dictionary meaning of the word and then free yourself from your own understanding of the meaning of the word itself, your understanding of the meaning of the word, your reference to your capacity, then you become more and more relaxed in reading the Quran at a universal level. And always find yourself. Never see Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab or something. But when it says Abu Lahab, who's Abu Lahab? Yeah. Me. Where is my Abu Lahab side? Huh? Where is my Abu Lahab side? And God says, I am not happy with it. Do you understand that? Yeah. God says, I am not happy with it because this attitude makes you be proud of or makes you feel security in your own wealth. Yeah. If you say, okay, I've got my social security guaranteed. Okay. I worked in America 10 years. At least my Medicare is guaranteed. When you work officially 10 years, pay tax, your Medicare is guaranteed. So I did this. Okay, if I am hospitalized, it is going to be taken by the state. I'm comfortable there. It means you are really relying on your social security. That's Abu Lahab. What are we going to do? Aren't we going to have it? We will have it, but trust, as I did like the slave girl, God. Yeah. But trust that this is organized by God. Say, thank you, Alhamdulillah. Oh, I appreciate your grace on me. That is the opportunity you provided for me. These people established this kind of system, and you created me within this system. So, Alhamdulillah, I have to be thankful to you because I see your will in the order of the existence of this society as it is. Do you understand? See God there, operating for you. That is ubudiyah. The rest is ritual. I think we covered a lot of important matters. I don't know. These are not the simple matters. Okay, starting from here. Yeah.
I still don't see how the context is not important.
Because you have been told until how old are you? Oh, don't tell me your age. I'm not interested in your age. For 20 years, you have been told about 20 years. That's very difficult to get out of the context of the historical context.
Oh, no, I just meant, so for example, I've seen people back in my country in Egypt, they read the Quran and they don't apply what you're saying, reading the context.
Okay, this I agree with you.
And then what happens would be something like the verse you were discussing about.
For example.
Exactly. For example, not taking Christians or Jews to be your friends. And they take it to an extreme. And they
No. In our principles, let me interrupt you. I know you haven't completed it. Sure, you will complete it.
Okay.
For example, in our discussions, we don't talk about other people's attitudes. Now, also, I said some people said this, but some people take it to extremes. None of my business. You and I should not take it to an extreme. Okay, carry on now.
I'm assuming they do that because they're taking it out of context.
Don't take it.
Yeah, but
I
you're
shouldn't
saying
take
you're saying we should take things out of context and universalize
of course.
the message.
Otherwise, you cannot make sense of it. How can you be, if you are not a friend, it means you just excluded from your world anybody who says I'm a Christian. So I see lots of Christians much believers in God than most of Muslims like me.
Yeah.
So how can I apply it? It doesn't make sense. Okay.
I'm just saying, if you put it within its context, you'll be able to better universalize the message.
You can't.
Really?
You
Why
can't.
not?
Study it.
Because,
Study it.
I mean, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
it's
like,
okay.
this is a show that I've actually had as well myself. But one of the reasons why I feel it's problematic, right, is because at least for myself, right, if I read a verse like Dr. Ali was saying, if I read a verse like that, I'll automatically assume that it's another people, and I will not look at it within myself. And so I'll always look at the historicity of it rather than extrapolating lessons from it. If I look at the historicity of it, I'm seeing 2, 3, 4 conflicting groups trying to make sense of their theology rather than actually applying it to myself. So, for example, when we like to call ourselves, the best community in the world, the best ummah in the world, right? I could read that verse and I could take it to such an extreme where now I believe that my lineage or my claim as a Muslim somehow puts me in a place of superiority to other people. This is something that we know is done again, we don't want to talk about other folks, but we know that Jews do that, right? Now I'm embodying those characteristics myself, and that's something that I've seen, you've seen as well. And so I think that's what he's saying is problematic, right?
I see.
You see.
So not fiqh rules are different, we said at the beginning. But if you really think about it, it's very important, and you really you start understanding the Quran, applying to yourself. But some people may misuse it. But I don't know. But we are talking here now to you. We are not talking to a slave girl.
Yeah, right.
I think this lady was before. Okay, if you.
So I don't know why you're like saying the fiqh rules are not under this, but I was imagining.
Starting point for the jurisprudential matters, it must start from there and extend.
Yeah, but I have also to confirm it in my heart to practice something. So I was thinking, if I'm reading the Quran in the way you told us about this verse about the Jews and Christians, hijab becomes modesty, it's a symbol. Fasting becomes a symbol of only eating good food or halal.
How do you complete that?
Because you made the symbol so simple, it didn't give the real meaning anymore. That's in my head, at least.
Yeah.
So, for example, prayer is not standing like we do.
Well,
It becomes a connection with God.
Excuse me. When you come to rituals, it is not easy to discuss the rituals. You know why? Practical side. You have to, when you want to understand, we never discuss that, because it needs an very deep study, layers and layers and layers, and then you can really discuss about it. First, if someone does not make sense or understand, it's just view, believe in God and all what it requires. 2, believe in the messengership, all what it requires. 3, believe in angels. What does it mean to believe in angels? What is the practical side of it? And God's speech to human beings is very difficult. God's speech, we say, we just make it very simple, saying that we have to believe in the books. Yeah, okay. Who are they? 4 books. Torah, Zabur, in Bible, and the Quran. No, I'm done. You just listed the name of certain things that you heard. That's it. This is not belief in the books. Believe in the books, believing in the reality, the fact that God speaks to humanity. God speaks to every nation. What does it mean? Kalamullah, speech of God. What do you understand from God speaking? I've never heard. Oh, he speaks only to certain people. How can I make sure? Am I really satisfied with the idea that the creator of this universe will speak to me as a human being? And specifically use the language that I understand, the language, human language, not necessarily English, Arabic, human language that we speak, and they put the ideas into words. Man, it is very difficult. We have to work on it. And then the practical practice of the prophet, and then the existence of the eternal life. This life is a transient place where the education is taking place. Somebody had a bad back. So we discussed before the discussion. Do you know this guy? This morning. So we didn't say, pray God, God will give you healing. We said, no, you have to have a heart surface to sleep on, etc. We were just talking practical, material things as the worshippers of God. Because when it comes to the reality of this world only, the life in this world, the existence within the limitations of this world, we have to understand the eternity of the act of creation. So we are going phase by phase in our existence, experiencing it. This is the place where we are learning, trained, educated. With all human qualities, including your mind, including your feelings, including your body, including when you are hungry, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you are reacting or rejecting the way you are created. It means you are disobeying the Creator, saying that, as if, of course, silently saying that you created me with the need of eating, and I'm not going to obey you. I'm not going to eat. That is disobedience to your creation. It means via your creation or via your creation, you are disobeying the Creator, not submitting it, submitting your being to Him. After that, you can make sense of these rituals. If you have not gone through these stages, you'd better not speak. So, because you have to do this and that, and for what? Because it is the order of our religion. No base, man. We have to go through a very good education, and then no one can stop you doing what physically also you are required to do. You understand it. Otherwise, you imitate. We cannot make a statement that even you don't understand, you have to obey. I don't know, but it's not my duty to say this. Until you have to wait until you understand everything, there is no end. It's not me here to tell you any specific framework of reference here. But if you want to discuss the practical side of religion, which are called rituals, bear in mind that the most difficult thing you are talking about, you have to go through many stages. Like the one, if a person comes to the IC room, IC, not Islamic Center, emergency, no, EC, not IC, emergency, ER, I'm sorry, ER, and you look at the surgeons, they have hundreds of different kinds of knives and tools, yeah. And then people are doing, and of course there is another person who prepares the one who's going to take the surgery. So I hope, how are they called? They are called prepare the patient for the surgery.
Assistants.
Sorry?
Anesthesiologist.
Yeah, this kind of, I don't know. The name, I was looking for a particular name, I don't remember now. So they are there, nurses are out there, the surgeon is there. You watch it. You can take a film of it, even film, and go home and watch the film exactly what the doctor is doing 100 times. Can you become a surgeon? You have no education of medicine, medical studies. Can you become a surgeon?
No.
Don't speak. Don't take any of the knives and try to cut the people and make the operation. You will kill them. Yeah, exactly like this. To practice surgery, by watching the last stage of education. In order to become a surgeon, what this man did, how many years he studied medicine? How many years? How many years? More than 24, 26 years. And then he has specialized in surgery. And although he had 26 years of educational background, still the other surgeons who are expert on the subject wouldn't let him do the operation. Watch for another year. Make an internship for another 4 years. And then they say, okay, you can do it now. It's exactly the same thing. Never talk about rituals and making sense of it. As a person who has watched the operation in the ER room, even said, Wallahi, I know everything what the surgeon did. Yeah, so I can do it now. It has background. Where are these backgrounds? Unfortunately, we don't have. Because we love talking about the results. Allah God asks us to do this, to pray. Why do we pray? You have to pray. Look at the Quran. Look at the Quran. The language is plain. You understand? Quran is revealed to us with a plain language that mubin. It is obvious. The meaning is clear. So it says, Aqim as-salah. And you start talking about Aqim as-salah, okay, perform your prayer or establish your prayer. Okay. What is establishment? Taking a stick in your hand. Is there anybody who's from Saudi Arabia? Akhi, salah, salah, salah. Like this. Akhi, salah, salah, salah. And then the man has to close it. Otherwise, the license will be taken away. That is iqamatus salah. And salah. Okay, salah, salat, salat. What does salat mean? Praying, man. Praying. What we are doing, the shuyukh does, you have to do the same thing. Salah means this. That's it. Really? Salawat is something to do with salah? Oh, what does it mean? Sallu is something to do with it? Oh, it's another meaning. But what does it mean really? I don't know. So never try to make an operation on a person because you have seen and observed the operators doing, or surgeons doing the operation. Don't do it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't pray. No. But never try to explain it if you don't have the background. So I don't have the background. I am not qualified. Have you ever seen me giving some sort of reasoning in any ritual? No? Have you? It's not my speciality. My speciality is to start from the very, very basic scratch. Who are we? Today we spend all our life discussion here. You have to learn how to refer or how to relate to your existence, the existence of anything. It's very simple. And then you may start becoming aware of the operation or manifestation or presence of the one who is giving existence to yourself and relate to him. That's the slogan, they said, mantra of the day. If you love your existence, if you love the existence of your human qualities, only then you can love God, the one who gave the existence. That's the very first step. Somebody? Yeah, I think you're... Okay. Would you like?
I don't want to feel like I'm going to go back again, but so the use of labels in general is very tricky.
Very
Tricky.
Yeah.
So like that.
I agree
The
with
verse that you were talking about, do not befriend the Jews and the Christians. the problem I have with it is that anyone that hasn't had the opportunity to look deeper will see it as a label and not go, deeper into the meaning. Like if someone were to come to the halqa for the first time and we're joking around and like you would say something like, "Oh, don't be like the Egyptians," they have no context, and if they're Egyptian, they're going to be offended, right? But they don't know what you mean by that, right?
Yeah.
I know what it means.
Yeah, no, that's why I use example of Egyptians.
But if someone were to come for the first time and hear it, they may be offended.
Yes.
And so that's a very tricky tricky way of relaying information. So for example, in the Fatha, God says in the end of the surah, what are the ladina, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So it makes it very clear without labels, because some people go and say, "Oh yeah, مغضوب عليهم is the Yehud or the Jews, the ones that went astray, or the Christians." But in the Quran, God doesn't use the labels. He doesn't say, "Don't do like the Christians" or "Don't do like the Jews." He says, "Don't do like the ones that went astray. Don't do like the ones that whatever." Same thing.
Can I just interrupt here? It's a beautiful meaning. Don't be in your own existence maghdub. Don't be in your own being dalin.
I understand that, and
Yeah? Do you understand maghdub means? Maghdub means, don't curse yourself. For example, if someone says, "I feel horrible today," it means I am maghdub.
Really?
Yeah, sure. But who's maghdub? The one who is feeling that God is torturing him. Of course. And I'm saying, don't make me in this position, please, my creator. I don't want to be in this position. No. Darling means, if I do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, I will say myself. Going through the causal chain, step by step, step by step, step by step. Yes, this is my duty, but in each and every step, I have to see that the will of the Creator is present there. Always refer to the Creator. Yeah, I will ask this. I will ask the Creator by simple example, very simple and also traditional example. I need bread. I love bread and I need bread. What shall I do now? By looking at the creation, the creator of this universe has established a certain order. In this order, I have to put the already existing seed into the soil. By putting the seed into the soil, it is not that the seed is going to grow into wheat. God will create. On the seed itself cannot grow. If one has an understanding notion that the seed will grow itself, darling, falling into the cause as the creator, seeing it as the creator. So when you do that, refer it to yourself. You cannot put the label, but you can put the label only to your particular attitude towards that particular event that you are involved with. Okay, carry on.
So my point is that the way that it says what a building or
Whatever, example.
It invites me to understand what is, like you said, what is God mean, what is astray, what is It invites me to try to understand it, right? if someone were to come into the house and sit down and you say, oh, don't be like those people who follow their tradition and not understand what they're doing, they may be, they will like that. They will think, oh yeah, that makes sense. I want to stay in this class, right? As opposed to they come in and like, don't be like the Egyptians. Then they're gonna go, oh, wait a second, I'm not coming to this class anymore. Same thing, if you read a verse in the Quran, you just open it up and you're like, oh, do not befriend the Christians and the Jews. Oh, you know what, this is not for me. Doesn't make sense.
No. Okay, yeah, that's perfect example. I solved this problem only with one notion which helped me a lot, so I would like to share it. But I think I shared it, but it is in this context, in this context makes more sense. Prophets are not employed to exclude people, saying that you are Jews, you are Christians, you are Egyptians, or never. So you are, you know, Pakistani, whatever, or subcontinent countries in this they see culture. So you know who you are, man. Okay, I am a prophet. Example, I am a prophet. I excluded everybody. That's why I am sent in a community where there is no believers. Okay, you are this, you are this, you are this. I'm an enemy of you because you are this. I am an enemy of you. I'm not going to be friend with you. I am going to make the message to myself. I am a messenger for myself. So by definition, you can solve many problems with this. By definition, the messengership means delivering the message to others who are not believers, who are not aware of the truth. How are you going to deliver it? Okay, I'm not a believer. So I am let's say, idolater, mushrik, they call it. Okay, and you are the messenger. How are you going to deliver the message to me? You are not going to be a friend of me. And what are you going to do? Say, Ali, don't get close to me because I cannot make any friendship with you, but I am the messenger to you. By definition, it contradicts. So the messengership, by definition, requires to be open to everybody and welcoming them with no label. That was a good expression I learned from you. Welcoming them. Come and talk. Come, let's have dinner together. Come for a cake or brownie. So let's have brownie together. And you are a Christian. Doesn't matter. I don't know. The labels are not important for me. I will regard you. I will treat you as a Jew, Muslim. No. Human being. As a human being. You are a human being, intelligent human being. Come and let's share the message together. That is messengership. By definition, he cannot isolate himself from any community. So be careful about the narrations. Hadith narrations, not Sunnah. Hadith narrations, any excluding attitude is narrated in the Hadith, put a question mark next to it. Historically interpreted by either Umayyad kings or Abbasid kings. Look at it carefully, you will understand. But you have to have the criteria. You have to have the criteria. If you don't mess up. Read the Quran and universalize the message, apply it to yourself. When the Quran talks about, I don't know what are the tribes, yeah, or Ashabu Fil, for example, the famous one. All right, who's Ashabu Fil? Who's Ashabu Fil? If the Ashabu Fil is somebody else, you'd say, why should I read this one? It is something to do with somebody else, none of my business. It is not related to me. So where is the attitude within my own character or behavior? Ashabi feel character. So correct it. Try to get the guidance about it. Refer it to yourself. When it comes to your friend, and God says you cannot judge about anybody. You cannot say you are one of the members of the Ashab field. You look like it because you are having a cross on your neck. Right? You are a Christian. So I'm not going to be a friend with you. Turn your back to him and say that I am the man of truth. I came here to deliver the truth. But my back is to him. Is it the right way of understanding? Anyway, so that is a very fundamental, very important point. What we are doing, putting the Prophet Muhammad in this example, his example, in a position which contradicts his prophethood. How can you understand any of this in this context? You are saying that the Prophet Muhammad did this, it is against prophethood. Wake up. I think we have to wake up. I think we have to be serious, not coming to a certain conclusion at all, but at the same time, we have to learn from scratch, step by step, slowly. Don't come to a certain conclusion, jump to the conclusions, and how can I do? What shall I do? Etc., etc. Question yourself, step by step. Establish everything from Iman, belief perspective. What does belief require? Belief means searching for the source of existence. Not believing in God. I didn't say believe in God. Belief means an ongoing process in search of the truth. I remember In Search of the Truth, there's a very famous book. So it was a very hard book. It's a very hard book, In Search of Truth. So really, it is by an atheist philosopher. but the title is excellent, you know. We have to be in search of the truth. Always. Does it have any end? No. No. My understanding, personal understanding, you may take it, you may not. Doesn't matter. Did the Prophet Muhammad himself, as we know the history, come to a conclusion? No, he died. As the revelation was coming, he died. Finish. Revelation finished, his life finished on earth. Do you understand?
No.
Do you understand? It means, all right, it means he had come to the conclusion and finished his process of education, and then now he's practicing. 10 years later, he died. No. He died as the revelation was continuing to come. It means in the process of education, he died. There is no end. Some heads are not happy with it. Some eyes are not happy with it. Look,
No, I mean, like, the message is complete.
no, the message is complete. His life is complete. That's it. But it doesn't mean that message wasn't complete. But his process did not come while he is in life and finished. And now the message finished now. Yeah, we are going to apply it now. Or carry on. Our education is complete. I've got my degree. I am qualified. I am a qualified engineer. Finished now. I can look for a job now. No. As you get the degree, what happens? You die. As you get the degree, that's the end of your life. So it doesn't mean that I'll get the degree And then I will be a professional in my job. As far as the belief education is concerned, this process is concerned, there is no end. Wake up. These are important things. Really, for me, they are very important points. It makes sense, but you don't hear. You don't hear. People don't pronounce these kind of things. It's their choice, of course, but we have to. Why? We just want to be leader of a community and rule them, administer them, and be a leader. Yeah? That is the disease of leadership in America. Everybody is a leader. Like my joke is about Pakistani people, you know. Whoever I met, what's your name? Faraz. What's your second name? Khan. Everybody is Khan. King, Miss King.
What's wrong with Khan?
Sorry?
What's wrong with Khan?
No, nothing is wrong. But everybody is king. I wonder who is subject. You know, a university asked for admission. You know, when send the paper out and ask them some questions. You know, how about your leadership position? Then it happened. It happened. They received statistic 400 applicants. 399 of them claim to be qualified to, or feels that he is qualified in leadership. It means he feels that he can be the leader of the community. Only one person said, answered other questions, but when it came to this question, she said actually, in the statistics, of course, she said, I don't feel any quality in myself that I can be a leader. And they accepted her. They called her. They said, we have 399 leaders. We need one person to be led. That you are the one to be led. So, like the Pakistani Khan, nothing is wrong. Like that one. So this is of course, we have to be initiators. We have to have, any kind of entrepreneurship, start a job, anything, that's correct. That's correct. But we have to understand that we are all, at the same time, please teach me the word, who is being trained, how do you say, apprenticeship? Is it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We are at the same time learning. We have never got our degree until the angel comes and say that, okay, that's enough for you here. Let's go. Angel of death, it's called. Let's go to another type of life you have been going through. Right? Okay. Any question there?
Yeah, I was just wondering, just so that I understand maybe about like how to practically apply that a little bit more. So, what is the degree again?
I see.
That you're
Is
it that you're a believer?
No,
What is
you're the end of your process of your education, learning. There is no end. Even the prophet didn't have an end. Yeah, his end was his death. So we have to work. We have to work. We have to always be in search of the truth. Always. We have to go one step ahead, never finishes. The universe is circular, how do you say? Round, the universe, and everything is round. You cannot come to the end. You go in it like this. I have been running who has been running a car for more than 20 years? So my wheel never came to an end, still turning. You understand that is really interesting to understand that the universe has no edge. It means, as far as human capacity is concerned, we cannot get to the edge of anything. For example, this table has an edge here. You go there, and then that's it. You cannot go further before. In the existence of the universe, there is no such thing. In the existence of your life, your existence, there is no such thing. Only there is an end in your life in this world, as you had an edge in your life in mother's womb. Do you get it? So 9 months, normally 10 days, finished, out. But in this world, another life, right? And we don't know. But we know that existence continues.
It's just interesting. So what is the measure of success then? Because
Sorry, measure of
the measure of success.
success?
Like
I see. Oh, it's interesting.
agree?
I like that. I like the question. What is the measure of success? There is no degree. So what is the measure of success? Sorry? Coursework. No. So the measure of success is being in the class and being a student, always learning. There is no end. That's as long as you are in the process of learning, that is itself is the measure of success. Student. Doesn't matter whether you are a student in the primary school or high school or the college level. Are you a student learning? You are doing your job. I am a student. But of course, what is the measure of opposite of success? What is it?
Failure.
Failure is saying that I am done. Well, out of school, that's it, you failed. Yeah. So, last question.
I want to take this to a practical side. So, in your example, when you said, I can't do what the surgeon did, I should go through 26 years of education. So, if I want to look at the practical side of that, it's either I would wait for many, many years to get so deep and an expert on not just religion, my existence, my relationship with God, to be able to discuss, is prayer this or that, is all the details, which means I will die before doing that, because it wouldn't end. I would keep learning.
Of course,
And I have two options during that time. Either I would stop practicing all those things because I'm not sure of them, or I follow a scholar, and that's blind following.
So, don't take the metaphor out of its context. So the metaphors are used only where they are meant to be employed. So metaphor is this: you cannot make an operation if you have not had the previous stages of education. That is just a metaphor in this context. It doesn't mean that you cannot pray until you complete. It means the prophet would start praying after he died, because this process never ended until he died. It doesn't make sense because it's out of context of the metaphor. Metaphor is this: if you want to really make an explanation of the prayer, so saying that you are a newly converted brother, mashallah, welcome brother, but never forget that you should pray. You should start praying now. It is fard on you now, brother. Allah really asks you to pray now, so you have to. And he doesn't know. Yeah? It doesn't mean that you just prescribe the result to this person. Prepare the ground. Prepare the ground. But what is unfortunate, we ourselves don't have the education in the ground of this. We just prescribe the result. Prescribe the result. What are the fundamentals of Islam? Listen, praying, fasting, going on Hajj, giving to charity, you have to do it. Now, you are a Muslim, you have to do it now. the memory becomes, oh God, where did I find myself? No, there's lots of things to be done. But prepare the ground as much as you can. Without making sense of anything, you cannot prescribe the result. So prepare the ground. As the Quranic revelation, the sequence of the Quranic revelation followed this preparation. Look at the verses revealed during the Meccan period, and look at the verses revealed during the Medinian, the last part of the prophetic life. You can see that the context is almost contacted, not really, but there are signs, of course, in it, the different. So why don't you take lesson from the revelation itself? That is the sunnah of God. How teaches us, how he treated us. Yep, that is God says, look, did I give you this? I first told you, take care of orphan. What? And then be careful, this world is transient and it is going to be destroyed. And we know that now, especially when you read the quantum, every moment is the things are being destroyed totally. Yeah? But we don't take notice of it. We think that as if this is eternal. This world and my life in this world is eternal. The Quran started from there. And then don't worship false God. It means false God doesn't mean that those idols or some statues in Mecca. No. Which doesn't have divine quality. Don't attach importance to them. Made up stories. Don't attach any importance to them. Made up story means I'm superior than you. So stop this tribal conflict. It is baseless, etc., etc. And then start slowly. That is, we learn from the way God teaches us. So we have to go slowly according to the capacity of the person who is expecting or doing something, understanding something, but never forget the foundations. Never forget the foundations. First, the first verse is, we studied this, but first is what? Read in the name of God who created. Or who, of course, the Quranic language we understand, creates. Yeah? Past tense mostly are to be read, not mostly, maybe all, to be read in the present tense. So, read in the name of God who creates. Okay? When you are interested in religion, the first thing you should hear from the community, are you reading the creation of God? Why? Because you are searching for the truth. If you are first searching for the truth, the first thing you have to read, you have to learn how to read the creation that your Lord is really exhibiting to you in front of you. See, or it's a little bit challenging question, maybe also discarding some sort of attitudes that prevalent in the society. Have you ever seen anybody who you said that I'm interested in Islam, and he says, okay, let's go to a garden, look at the flowers together.
No, they ask you to read the Quran, which is...
Yeah. Quran says, go and read the act of creation of God. I say, let's go to the mosque. You are interested in Islam. Good morning, sir. What's happening in the world? So we have to wake up. These are fundamental matters. That's what we didn't read anything today. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.